Smash. Two seconds. No one's in yet anyway. 2 secs. What is happening all? Welcome to the London Rivals podcast. First one of many. We have myself, we have Chelsea fan Rossi, we have Arsenal fan Wes, and we have West Ham fan Big P. How you doing, boys?
Howdy, boys.
What's happening? I'm good, thanks, Matt. Are you?
Yeah, not bad. How you doing, Ross?
All good, all good.
I see you come prepared to the European Cup. Do you know what I mean? What do you think this is?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad, not bad.
Take
Well,
it
lads,
easy,
him off around here, mate.
I wouldn't mind, but it ain't even in Chelsea, is it? It's at Tower Bridge.
Yeah, where's that? What's it? Give us a
Just
bit
over
of
London.
Go on, Ross. Give us a bit of background about your picture. So you're at London Bridge with a Champions League trophy. Yeah, where's that from? BBC or what? You look speechless, mate. Speechless.
It's self-explanatory, mate. It's the only one the city's ever done, so we have to show everybody.
But what we'll do, man, we'll just go around the houses. Do you know what I mean? We'll just have a quick, brief round. So, Ross, what do you reckon of Chelsea's start to the season so far? Ross?
Hello, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Let's go around the houses. What do you reckon of Chelsea's season so far?
Mate. I'm not too happy, to be honest. It's rapidly in decline. It's since we beat you lot, funnily enough, since we beat you lot at your gaff 4-3, we've fell off a cliff. And I only see it getting worse at the moment, mate. We're really struggling.
So where is it? Enzo?
Really struggling.
Right. Where's P? Jump in at any time if you want to ask any questions, yeah? But what do you reckon it's Enzo? Because he had a bit of a fall off at Leicester last season, didn't he? But then clawed it back.
He did, mate, but I think it's a mixture of a lot of things, to be fair. I think when it was a bit of a new manager bounce that you obviously get and a new tactic, but he's been sussed, in my opinion. He's been rumbled and he hasn't got a backup plan. He hasn't got an alternative way to play. And I think that's going to be our Achilles the rest of the season.
I think there's bigger problems than that. I think they haven't invested properly either. Like Nicholas Jackson's playing as an out-and-out striker, and we all know he's not an out-and-out striker, and their back four is probably one of the worst in the top 10.
Yeah, so like obviously
Chelsea, I wouldn't disagree with that, to be fair. Yeah, easily.
So people say about Daniel Levy, they say that Levy spent a lot of money and stuff, but it's the recruitment that we've brought in, you know, it's been pretty poor, do you know what I mean? Like some of the recruitment we've brought in, and you've spent over £1 billion, and you can look at some of your recruitment, it's pretty poor.
They bought Dewsbury, what was it, £40 million? He wouldn't even get in the West Ham side.
Ross, are you on a delay, Rossi? I think you're on a delay.
And that's the problem. Because we spent so much money, the expectations are going to be high, aren't they? People say to me, you should be happy to be fourth. You should be happy to be in and around European places. If you spent over £1 billion, surely you should be achieving a little bit more than that.
What was your realistic expectations at the beginning of the season, Rossi?
What's that, mate?
What was your realistic expectations at the beginning of the season with the money you spent?
Top 4 at a minimum.
Well, yeah, so top 5 will get you in the Champions League this year, or should get you in the Champions League this year. I think we're relying on Arsenal and Liverpool, and we know what Arsenal like. They'll fumble it at some point.
Listen, you're relying on Chelsea.
But the way things are going, P, we ain't making top 5.
Do you not think?
No, not the way things are going, mate. Not the way things are going.
So where do you think you'll finish now then? Like if you're talking now, what we February the 20th, where are you going to finish?
7th, 8th. The way we're playing at the minute, mate, And bear in mind, we ain't going to Jack until they reckon April, mid-April.
Yeah.
That's a big miss.
So
You know
where
what I
do
mean?
you
Till
think roughly?
mid-April, P, you're looking.
Ross,
So then
where
we're
do
going to
you
be
think
playing with
roughly?
Nkuku up top, who doesn't want to be there. We're up against it, mate. Big time. Big time.
It's hard though, isn't it? It's hard to see because you think like Nkuku done so well before he come to Chelsea. Like you'd think like he was one of the strikers to go to, wouldn't you? But it's just not worked out for him.
Problem is, I think we've seen it a few times at different clubs where players, they're fantastic. Timo Werner's a great example, and he's obviously at Spurs at the minute. He's fantastic in Germany, but come to the Premier League, it's a different kettle of fish. And I think Nkunku's finding the same problem.
Rossi, what do you think the answer is then for Chelsea? Is it another like manager merry-go-round? Is it get someone else in, or is it the recruitment needs to improve?
Yeah,
or the board needs
he's
to go?
not done enough at Chelsea. I know he's suffered a bit of injuries, but he's been nowhere near good enough when he's had a chance to play. Nowhere near.
Yeah, but look, mate. I don't know. I'm hoping Chelsea fall off massively, mate. After you won your cup final against us, mate.
The recruitment needs to improve. I'm not.
Rossi's about 5 minutes behind.
I think Rossi is, isn't
I'm
he?
not a massive fan of him, but I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
going
fair
on? Is
enough,
there a
mate.
bit of a delay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got a slight delay on your end, but it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
We can work around that and that. But well, then, Wes, we'll come to you about Arsenal, mate. Like, how do you think your season's gone so far?
Listen, where do I begin? I think with the circumstances, boys, we're hanging in there, you know, and I think that's all we can do. I think with the injuries we've had, I'm not one to blame the injuries. You know, yourself, Matty, it's tough when you get a lot of injuries. For me now, if we can stay within, say, 5 points and we get Saka, Martinelli and a few others back, I think we'll give it a good go. I still think Liverpool is theirs to lose rather than ours to win. Unfortunately, so I think we will come up short.
When's Saka and that potentially looking to come back?
You've said after the international break. So what's that? 16th of March. So I think they're back for the Fulham game. So they won't be back for the Chelsea game.
Is that a rush? Is that a rush? Getting back rush quick?
That's actually late.
What you don't want is him to break down again.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks later than he was meant to be. So he's coming back actually later. He's going to have longer than he was meant to have. But yeah, listen, hamstring injuries you've seen from Van der Ven and numerous players that you don't want to rush them back. But it's a tough one, isn't it? Because if we are only a couple behind, 5 points behind, you're going to need all the help you can get. I mean, if you look at it, we've got our 4 top goal scorers all out injured. You take the top, take Liverpool's top 4 goal scorers out. Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, whoever it is, they'd struggle as well. So I think we're doing all right, just staying in there as best we can.
Liverpool got the best striker in the league, haven't they? That Darwin Núñez, just put him up front.
Yeah.
You're quite lucky, isn't you, that you went at the FA Cup and then there's an international break as well. So it's kind of like 2 weeks you're not playing and it gives a chance for players to come back. Yeah,
I mean, you say that. We had the warm weather training in Dubai and Havertz got injured for the rest of the season when he's out there. So
what do you think the summer signings have cost you this year? Not going out and spending like a striker or that midfielder that you can rely on as Zubimendi, like that you've been linked with in the last couple of months?
Yeah, listen, I've had this discussion a lot of times about the signings. Look, Arteta's not turned down strikers. That's not the case. The thing is, you need to look at teams like United. Yeah, listen, we need a striker. We know that. We don't just need a striker, though. We need the right striker. If you look at teams like United, recently they've signed Xerxes, Højlund. They need a new striker. If you look at Chelsea, they've signed Nkuku and Jackson. They need a new striker. So we need to go into that market and it needs to be the right striker. And I think it's clear. Isak is the main target. It's not going to happen, in my opinion. And then you're looking at the young kid, Sesko. We tried to get him in the summer. He turned us down to stay and develop more. Apparently, we tried to get him again in January. He wants to stay until the summer again. And I think we'll go after him again in the summer. But yeah, look, in hindsight, did we need some bodies in January? Yeah, of course we did. But in January, you know, Havertz wasn't out for the season. Martinelli wasn't injured in January. So it's a tough one, isn't it? It is a tough one.
Coming away from talking about Arsenal, Wes, and obviously you're quite done up. You've probably put a bit of like 1 million aftershave on. Katie wants to know who Wes is. And
Katie needs to know who Blackburn is more than
yeah. And who is Wes? Who is Arsenal? Does anyone know? So you've got. I don't know if it's an admirer in the chat or she's digging you out, mate. Like time will tell.
She, knowing Katie, she's digging me out, mate.
Wes, not Wes. Big P. What we saying about West Ham this year? Because obviously you're right in a relegation battle now, aren't you? You're proper in one.
I don't know if we're in a relegation battle. We're still 10 points clear, and I don't see the three at the bottom winning 4 games at the minute. That's including Ipswich. So I don't think we're in a battle. I think it's just now about Potter understanding the players that he's got to work with, which I think he's done quite well since he's come in, and building for next season. We have to massively build for next season now. Paqueta's injured. They've got his scans back today, so we'll wait and see the news on that one for Saturday. Kudos just hasn't been
news, no?
Kudos hasn't been the same player. He just needs to move on now, whether that be Arsenal, Liverpool. He's been linked with them clubs. So I think it's just about building for next year, you know, for us. Bought Evan Ferguson in January. He looked all right, actually, against Brentford, but you can tell he ain't fit. Do you know what I mean? He had a chance and the keeper saves it. But a fit Evan Ferguson puts that chance away. Do you know what I mean? And we come out of that with a draw. But yeah, I think it's just about building for next year. I don't think we're in a battle. As I say, we're 10 points clear. It's just about now getting ready for next season.
Yeah, you mentioned Kudus. So have you selling what you're saying for 80 million, do you reckon? What do you reckon you do with that? Do you reckon you bring in about 3 or 4 new players?
Do you think he still gets 80 million now with his downturn of form?
He's got a buyout clause of 85, I believe. So he ain't going to go for less than 85. Now, whether he's worth that, that's yet to be seen for me. First 6 months, he was fantastic. But since then, he's been pony. I think you get 2 players at around 40 million. And that's...
Yeah.
Or do you go one player, one superstar, 85 million?
But depending on how Ferguson does, you'd probably look at him out of that transfer budget, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Have you got option to buy with that, or is it not?
No, nothing. No, just a straight loan. And apparently, we paid a hefty fee to get him on loan. So I wonder if that hefty fee will come off the transfer.
One with him, isn't it? I mean, what was it? A couple of years ago, there was talks of £100 million for the fella.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah,
he had a couple of bad injuries.
Got hat-trick against Newcastle, I think, and Man United were linked with him in 5 minutes, and Arsenal were going to go and sign him a week later.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ross, are you back up to that times now? What? Are you back up to scratch?
Mate, I'm on with you now, I think. Yeah.
That's it. There was about a 15-minute delay, mate.
Rossi was going on Maresca time.
Ross, what's your opinions on Arsenal this season? Like, what as a Chelsea fan? Like from an outsider, you know, because no matter what, you're always, as a fan base, you're always going to back your team, aren't you? So, as an outsider, like, what do you reckon? And then we'll come to you, P, and then we can, mate, we'll do this at Spurs as well, mate. Like, obviously, you all probably call me deluded.
Yeah, I'll call you worse than that.
Yeah, I still think they've got an outside chance of winning the league, you know. I still think Liverpool slip up. I think Liverpool drop points. They got City on Sunday, Liverpool, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what, Rossi? I said the same thing, do you know, and it was only the Wolves game the other night, was it last week, where they, I wouldn't say they was lucky because they won the game, they'd done enough to win the game, but they started to look, it's the first game I noticed they looked a bit leggy. They looked a bit like in midfield, they looked like they was getting run through. And then against Villa again, which was, 3 days later, and then, they played Villa last night, was it? They've got 3 days again, they've got City away, then 3 days again, they've got Newcastle. Whereas we're at the minute sort of one game a week, apart from the midweek games coming up in the week. We're back to one game a week. So I think you're right. I mean,
the saving key for the Premier League could be Liverpool getting knocked out of that FA Cup. That could save their season because they've obviously got the final. Then they've got Champions League, which the draw, I think, is tomorrow for the Champions League. So they find out where they're going in that. And obviously, they've got the Premier League and they've got some tough fixtures. They're 3 tough fixtures they've had. So Arsenal now, the pressure on Saturday is on Arsenal. Arsenal have to win Saturday.
Yeah, well, effectively, it's like our game in hand, isn't it? Because we've got a game in hand now, so we'll go and play that on Saturday. So we can cut that down to, what is that, 5, is it?
Yeah. But even then, on Sunday, you'll have another game in hand, which will be Chelsea at the Emirates. And it's a London derby. Anything could happen in that.
Boys,
That ain't an
hang on.
easy fixture.
Why did Aston Villa and Liverpool play yesterday?
So the midweek games, not obviously next week, they've got the cup final, haven't they, on the 16th or 17th? So,
Yeah, but
so we've all got midweek games. I think they brought that midweek game forward a week.
No.
Is that not what they've
Liverpool
done?
are supposed to play Villa on the 16th, and they've booked that fixture forward because of Liverpool are in the Champions League, and so are Villa, so they wouldn't have no time to play
Well,
it.
I don't think it's Champions League, is it? I think it's the
So they're meant to play
Carabao
each other in the
Cup
league. You can't go later on because of Champions League commitments, because I think
Right.
the Champions League will be near enough every week, so they've had to bring it forward. So they booked that forward. So obviously Liverpool play Newcastle next Wednesday.
Yes. Oh, okay. So we've all got the Wednesday. So they've still got the Wednesday game. Okay,
There's a
right, I get you.
there's a fixture list next week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. We got Forest away. Tough.
So Pete, like Rossi just saying, yeah, like they think see Arsenal with an outside chance. Do you agree?
I think the league's Liverpool's, if I'm honest. But what I will say, and it is a bold statement, and I have said it since September, I can see Arsenal going to win the Champions League.
You reckon?
Yeah, I just got a funny feeling that Arsenal's champion. It'll be Arsenal's year for this Champions League this year, and I don't know
Do you know
why.
what? I would agree, but we can meet Real Madrid in the quarterfinal.
That's
I
it.
I
Again, Real
don't
Madrid-
see us getting past Real Madrid, mate.
Real Madrid for the last 2 games have been fantastic. Don't get me wrong; they've played a poor City side, but they've been good. Yeah, but they haven't They weren't good in the group stages. And if Arsenal got a fully fit squad, I think Arsenal give Real Madrid a game.
No, but it's what these teams do, though. The big teams will turn up in the knockout stages, wouldn't they? Like that's what they do. Like Bayern Munich, you can't expect Bayern Munich to perform like the way they're doing next round because they'll go out.
Yeah, but I've got a funny feeling that the league is Liverpool's, but Arsenal will.
I mean, if you look at the round of 16, I think the fixtures have fallen in our favour. I think Milan, we could have got Milan, Juventus. They've both gone out. So it's going to be Feyenoord or PSV, one of those two. In the last
PSV
16.
look good, though, don't they? PSV look
Yeah,
good.
they do. And they're shot to pieces. Is it them or Feyenoord that are shot to pieces with injuries? I think it's Feyenoord, isn't it?
I'm not sure which one, but PSV look good this year, mate. Like I've been watching them, I think they look like the Ajax of the couple of years ago.
They beat Liverpool, didn't they, in the last match week? I know they had a weekend
Yeah,
team.
but that
They
was
beat Liverpool, yeah.
Liverpool's reserves,
Yeah,
though, weren't they?
Liverpool side. Rossi, you must be looking forward to Aberystwyth away.
Well, I'm actually keeping an eye on the Shamrock games. I wouldn't mind getting them in the knockout stages, to be honest.
Nice little away trip.
Aberystwyth in Wales.
Right, here we go.
Talking
Okay.
about that, go on.
Katie Blackburn, if Arsenal win the Champions League, I'm thinking she's saying I'll buy Wes an Amazon gift card.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's nice. How much we're talking here? Because I might be interested in this as well. You know what I mean?
Matty, I know.
Talking about their conference league.
We've all spoke about our teams. What's going on at Spurs at the minute? What do you make of your start to the season?
Sorry, Pete, can't hear you, mate. You're cutting out, mate.
Yeah, signal, bad signal.
Well, you know
25
what?
she said.
People talk about injuries and that, like, and I do believe, like, and I think if Arsenal didn't have their injuries, they've done well to where they are now. But I do think if Liverpool come unbeaten against Man City, then I think Liverpool go on and win the league. If Man City turn Liverpool over, then I think Arsenal's right in the mix. If Arsenal could beat West Ham, because West Ham are a stubborn team when they want to be, and they're going to be hard to break down. If Arsenal without a striker, it's going to be tough anyway, you know. If Arsenal don't score first against West Ham, I think they'll struggle.
Have you not seen Super Mikel Merino, though, mate?
What's that?
Have you not seen Mikel Merino up top, though?
Come on, Wes, don't buy into that. He played 10. Mate, I do believe he could be a short-term thing, but you don't know, do you, man? You don't know.
Do you know? Just touching on that, mate. Though, yeah. You see the Mikel Merino. If you look at Havertz, yeah, same build, same height. Havertz is an 8 or a 10. He's not a striker. Marino's the same. Marino's an 8 or a 10. So there's no reason why he can't do that job up there. The same. I mean, if you look at them two finishes, Rossi will tell you he's seen enough of Havertz. I've seen Havertz score that first header, and I've also seen it come off his arm and shoulder.
Yes.
That second one, Havertz doesn't finish that second one. Not a chance for me. Not
You know what I
not a chance.
But the problem is with Arsenal is it only takes him to miss one sitter, and the whole ground's against him, and his wife's getting messages from someone sitting in their ass watching it on
That
TV.
was the
Do you
same
know what I
at
mean?
Chelsea. It was the same at Chelsea, Pete. He was the same at Chelsea. One miss and it throws him out of kilter the whole game.
Yeah, but for you, Ross, he won you the Champions League on his own.
He's such a confidence player, though, isn't he, Havertz? Big time.
That was one game, Pete. The amount of times he cost us points over times at Chelsea.
That trophy behind you, brother, he won you that trophy for you to have that in that photo right now.
No, actually, Drogba done that. That was Havertz.
He's got the Drogba one. Great answer.
Now, look, boys, going back to Spurs, like, mate, it's no denying it, man. Like, we've been absolutely battered with injuries. Like, no one really likes to use injuries as an excuse, but it's a true reflection in where it's not a true reflection where you currently are. Yeah, like Spurs lost like 13 players at one stage. Yeah, we had to ask school teachers, can we name kids on the bench in midweek games and that because they were going to be late into school and that. But I do believe, like I was saying, I was going back to what I was saying. If Arsenal didn't lose like Saka, they would be right in the mix. If Liverpool lost Salah, they would drop so many points. Yeah. So I do think injuries take a massive part in what the season holds for teams. And don't get me wrong, it's not been good enough. Ange hasn't adapted to some of the way he plays. But then I do think in recent weeks, or let's say the last couple of months, he has. Like we sit in now and try and counter-attack teams. Everton, he went with a 3 at the back. I do believe that can work with the team, with the players available. Man United was good, you know what I mean? We had players come back and it felt like a fresh start. Even though we're still missing loads of players, it was just good to see 4 or 5 players back that we haven't seen since like November.
Matty, do you think, right, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Do you think it's mismanagement by Ange and the way that he plays and trains? Or do you think that it's poor investment from Daniel Levy?
Right, so I definitely think it's a bit of both. I think at the start, I think you could look at injuries and the way we train and stuff like that. But then when you're playing Sunday, Thursday, Sunday with the same group of players, you're going to get injuries. We wasn't even come out and said we can't even train because the players need to recover. The next day's recovery, we go through the classroom exercise and then the next game's it. So we can't even train. So I think it was just the same group of players playing so many fixtures in such a short amount of time, the injuries just kept mounting up. We didn't have squad depth to deal with it, which is on the board. Yeah,
Didn't you come through though? Didn't you come through Europa League playing a lot of the kids until like you got the bigger sides towards the end of the group stage, and you had to get in that top 8?
We've been playing with that team since November. So November till now, that's what we've kind of been doing. Bentancur might come back for about 2 games and then he's out. Maddison might play about 5, but then he's out. So we never had like, I think it was no more than, I think it was like 10 or 11 players out the whole time since November. So it's been tough, mate. I
think I know the answer.
Go on,
I think I know the answer, but who's the biggest player you've missed out of the 13, 14 that you've had injured?
I'd say the biggest, right? But I am going to say, if we were still playing the high line, I'd say Van der Ven, but we're not even playing the high line no more. How many goals do you see Spurs concede now through a high line? We don't concede goals like that no more.
Yeah, but that's because you've got that pasta dish playing Ragadoo
and Archie Gray. People say Ange is too stubborn to change his ways and stuff like that. He has changed his ways because we're not conceding goals from the high line no more. We're not a ball over the top. They're not through 1-on-1. We've now dropped a little bit deeper, which you are naturally going to do when you've got, for instance, Ben Davies and Archie Gray centre back. You are naturally going to do that. It'd be interesting to see what happens when Van der Ven and Ramiro come back. But I am going to say, I'm going to say Ramiro, mate. We've missed him the most, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We've needed someone in this tough time to roll their sleeves up and just fucking play for the badge. Do you know what I mean? Where we've had Archie Gray's done absolutely brilliant. But if you're going to try and tell me that he was an Ange signing and not a club signing, I will say I don't think he was. Archie Gray's only coming good and he's taking his opportunity because of the injuries we've had. At the start of the season, he wasn't even getting played by Ange. So if Ange goes out and spends 40 million on Archie Gray, You expect him to be in that starting lineup first game of the season. He didn't even get a look in at all for weeks.
And you've got Lucas Bovril in the midfield. What was he?
Listen, so Lucas Bergvall was bought last year, but then for this year, wasn't he, to come in this summer?
Listen, they all look like talented. They're all talented kids, though, aren't they? But
you see what he's done, though, Wes? He's gone out and bought. Daniel Levy's gone out and played FIFA and bought the gems on that game and think, I'm going to go and sign them at Spurs. Like Papa Star, Bergvall, Archie Gray, you know? He's gone out.
Do you know what, Matty? And Rossi will tell you, being in the Conference League this year, it does give you, being in the Europa League and the Conference League, it gives you that opportunity to bed some of these youngsters in. The problem you've had is you've had to bed them all in straight away, all together, because most of your senior players got injured at once. And that's the issue. If you look at us a few years ago, you know, us being in the Europa League, we managed to give the likes of, you know, Smith Rowe and Saka coming through the game time and help them develop. You couldn't give these kids, you know, that time if he was in the Champions League, which we struggle to now.
I don't think Saka's missed a game since, has he, Wes?
Yeah, probably not, mate, to be fair.
See, what I look at as well, right, is Archie Gray, Spence took their opportunities. Bergvall's taking his opportunity. That could save us a fortune in the summer because they're going to be brand new players in the summer for next season, you know? Like, they're going to be the players that we didn't have, you know? Put them in our normal team, you probably see a better players from that as well.
Yeah.
You know, like Jed Spence especially. Mate, we nearly sold him to General in the summer for 10 million.
No, yeah.
The guy's just on the verge of an England call-up.
So what's your realistic expectations now, Matty?
I think, mate, literally, we have to see the Premier League out, but not take it as serious as the Europa League. We understand, like, the league is the bread and butter, but we have to go for that Europa League to get European football next season. If we don't, we're not going to get European football.
10th place finish and a Europa League win?
Well, I think it was 13-2 or something like that. I see today. That
Matty would take 17th in a Europa League win.
Problem is Spurs ain't that far off the top 10. I think they're only like 5 points off it.
They're saying in the bookies, I think 13-2 Tottenham are to finish in the top 8.
I mean, you've had a result. I don't know how they're getting on tonight. How's because Galatasaray was one of the teams you could have drawn against. I think they're 4-1 down after the first leg.
Yeah, I don't know what the score is now, mate, but I should have had that one.
What was the other one? Real Sociedad. That won't be an easy game if you get there.
No, Real Sociedad definitely won't be easy, mate. But lucky enough, you keep nicking all their best players.
So Galatasaray finished 6-3. They're out on aggregate.
So they're gone. And what about Real Sociedad?
So it's AZ Alkmaar.
Yeah.
Good luck going there on a Thursday night.
Sociedad are 5-3 up. They're still playing 3-2 on the night.
Sociedad or AZ Alkmaar, Spurs or Man United can meet. So Man United will meet one. We'll meet the other one.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind AZ Alkmaar. We played them in the group stage, basically with our kids.
Yeah, I mean, if you get Real Sociedad, it's the chance for the Arsenal legend Upamendi to stick one in.
Arsenal legend.
I just want to go through some of the TikTok things before we move on. Katie Rash, thanks for the follow. Sonado, stop giving Kurz Queer airtime. He talks shit. AZ Alkmaar through. So now, though, Real Sociedad are through. I'll say that was by Jack. Midtjylland have been poor. And then Katie on YouTube. Only reason Spurs are not in relegation because there are more bad teams than you. Katie, we're above Man United and West Ham, so I'm expecting the same energy from you now with a comment about them, yeah? About Tottenham.
Have you noticed all of a sudden Blackburn are in the playoffs and Katie's got a lot of energy?
Katie, mate, listen, her energy's got to die down, mate, coming out with shit like that.
I've heard Wayne Rooney's going there today.
Oh, really? No way.
He's got outside chance, him or Lewis Barmorte.
But hang on, look, as we're talking about European football, yeah? Obviously, Rossi.
I'll put myself on mute, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say this, P. You might just want to sit out of this one, yeah?
Listen, he's got the most recent European Cup out of all of us, hasn't he?
That's why we're massive, mate.
Rossi's got the European Cup history, but P, as the European draws are tomorrow, I know Rossi's looking forward to Shamrock if they get them. Where's, PSV final, who else?
Yeah, it's just PSV or Feyenoord, mate. So either or, I don't
Yeah,
think there's
you'll
much.
win that.
I mean,
You'll be
the bigger thing is what side of the draw we get drawn on. So we want to go on the side where you can miss Barca and Liverpool as well. Obviously, it's set in stone that we could potentially meet Bayern Munich or Real Madrid in the quarters after the last 16. So you're going to meet one of them anyway.
But who would you rather play, right? Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, or
Bayern Munich.
or the other one that you just said, Liverpool or Barcelona? I don't think you got to fancy yourself against Liverpool or Barcelona, surely.
Can we skip all of them? Is there an
you
option
want
to miss them all?
PSV for the rest of the tournament.
Literally.
Problem
mate,
is,
yeah.
you know, if you play Bayern Munich, you know Harry Kane's going to score a hat trick.
Yeah, I fancy ourselves against Bayern Munich.
Said that last year.
No, that prove it.
I get the recording up there.
Listen, I don't think we're going to win the Champions League purely because we're going to meet Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. It looks like. But I agree with you though, Pete. Our defence, like if you look at the Champions League, yeah, most of the teams, especially in this latter stages, they don't play low blocks. You know, like the smaller teams do in the Prem, and that's where we struggle. We don't struggle against the teams that come out at us a lot more. So I think it would suit our game a lot more. It's just the injuries, mate. If we had a full strength squad, I'd say I fancy us on our day against most teams. But
surely by then you'll have a full fit squad by Kai Havertz, who's out for the rest of the season.
Oh, Havertz is out. Yeah, Tomiyasu's out now, but he's been out the whole season anyway. Jesus is
Tomiyasu
out for the whole
played for about 4 years, is he?
Yeah, he's in a bad way.
Welcome back, Rossi.
Sorry, boys. I don't know what's going on with my signal.
Ross, we're talking about who could you meet in the Europa Conference knockout stages?
We can meet Copenhagen or Real Betis in the next round.
Mate, listen, Real Betis won't be easy.
Especially with Anthony.
No.
Anthony's just hit some
No.
form as well. hasn't he?
now, isn't
Yeah.
To be fair, I'd rather play them now and then knock us out now than get to the final and beat us.
Yeah. Pete, who do you want West Ham to meet in Andrew, you might as well play a pre-season friendly.
Yeah, I'd like us to meet. There's a Chinese side called fucking no one. That's who I'd like to meet.
I wouldn't mind Spurs meeting Asaid Alkmaar, man, and just going with it.
It's tomorrow the European draws in it, but it's just Friday.
I'm
tomorrow.
not too sure what time. I might even do a live.
To be fair, mate, I think West Ham, we've already won it, mate. So we completed that competition. It's like give Chelsea a turn now, isn't it? I know they're on a bit of a trophy drought.
Let me leave them some messages, right? And then we're going to come on to this week's fixtures because Wes and Big P, you're at each other this weekend, mate. Tabriz, big up, mate. How's it going, mate? I can see you in there, mate, and sharing the live. Appreciate it, mate. Matty, Rangers are winning the Europa League. Sorry, boys, I'm out of here. I'm done. I can't do this shit no more, man.
No chance.
See what we got to deal with? What is this?
I'm not being funny. But I'd
Rossi's
rather watch
signal
Toy Story
is
than
like-
watch Rangers.
The Tabriz has come out. Rossi's signal is like Chelsea right now. Dodgy.
I don't mean to be rude, but Tabriz is a fine one to talk about signal.
Yeah, Tabriz's signal is horrendous. When he's DJing, he looks like he's scratching because he thinks
Does anyone know if Tabriz is actually off the fence? Is he saying
he's not.
Liverpool's going to win it yet
He
or not?
was,
He's not.
he was off the bench, and then they dropped points, and he's back on it.
Oh, he's gone back on it. Okay.
No, listen. No. I was in the live the other day and Tabriz was chatting. You know, he's bought what he normally does, right? And he was sitting there saying, since January, he started to believe Liverpool are going to win the league. There we
Just
go.
ask Tabriz, who's the reigning champion in the quizzes?
Put it on TikTok. Liverpool are going to win the Premier League. It's what he's put on the TikTok.
Is that what he said?
Wow. Screenshot that,
Yeah,
mate.
he's used capital letters as well. He's
Screenshot
well and
that,
truly.
mate.
Jack saying, we should have beat you at Ibrox, so if we beat you again, we'll beat you. Jack, you played our kids, mate, and you still lost. Or you still drew. You still couldn't beat us at Ibrox, no matter how bad we were. And Amoga, Jesus, thanks for the follow, mate. Right, listen, we are going in here, right? Rossi, who you got the weekend? I think it's Southampton. Do not lose that game.
No, we got Aston Villa away, mate. R5 Saturday.
Oh, when have you got Southampton next week?
Tuesday night. Yeah.
Mate.
That fixture can't come quick enough for Maresca. Southampton at home.
Chelsea, Villa away.
There's all protests. There's all protests planned for that night as well. So it could be a bit
About
of a
what,
variable.
Rossi? About the board or the
What?
manager?
Tell us this protest. What's going on here? You've spent over £1 billion.
Yeah, but it's not that, mate. It's so most people don't know about it, but there's a ticket scandal going on, isn't there? The geezer who, so Todd Bowley, this is what's being said. Apparently, he's mass bot buying the tickets that go on sale to members, right? And then sticks them on his ticket exchange website platform, whatever it may be, and sells them off at £300-400 a pop. So their members who have signed up for a membership for the season for Chelsea can't buy tickets because where there should be a pool of, say, 20,000 tickets, there's only 5,000 tickets available because he's pinched 15,000, just say, for example, 15,000 tickets.
That's mad.
So there's that. There's one issue. The other issue is the people he's got in place as sporting directors. The people that are spending that 1.5 billion quid, whatever it is, that's who people have got the ump with. They feel that they're incompetent and they're in the wrong job, and that's pretty much being shown on the pitch because what we've got after spending 1.5 million, it ain't good enough.
Is Todd Bowley under investigation for his shares in that company? Because I read something, or I heard something the other day that he was under investigation.
I don't know if I'm being honest, mate. I don't want to say too much. I don't know about that. So, yeah.
Was
not
there?
sure.
Rossi, I don't know. Was there rumours of Abramovich coming back, or was that just made up?
No, what it was the thing he got found guilty for whatever they stripped him the club away from him for, basically. So yeah, I would love him to come back, but I don't think it will ever happen, mate. I can't see it.
That's all the Chelsea fans now waking up and seeing Roman Abramovich in their eyes. Oh, he's coming back. Oh no, I've just woke up.
So Rossi, what do you think needs to
To
happen?
be fair,
Board level, they need to go. New owners again, new manager.
No, not specifically. No, I don't think new owners, because you can't knock the owners. They put money into the football club. They spent a lot of money. It's the people they're putting in charge of spending the money. Lawrence and Winstanley, they're the sporting directors. They're the people who have built the squad. They're the people who have. I don't even know if they work with Maresca. I reckon they provided Maresca with the players and said, right, that's what you got to work with. And it's not good enough. The squad management, the squad planning isn't up to scratch. It really ain't. And I think that's where the problem lies for me as a Chelsea fan. Yeah.
Fair enough. So, where did you travel the weekend? Villa away or Villa at home?
Villa away Saturday, and then Southampton at home Tuesday.
How do you think you'll get on against Villa?
Yeah. To be honest, mate, after watching the Brighton games, 2 performances of Brighton, and it's not just them. You can go back to, I can't remember the last time we played well, to be honest with you. But I don't see us scoring a goal. In the 2 games we scored the goal we scored against Brighton, the goalkeeper threw it in. We're not creating sort of clear-cut chances. We're not ripping teams open and pulling them apart. It's just, and that's why I worry about us finishing the top in European spaces. If I'm being honest, I think we're in a bit of a pickle.
To be fair, I watched Villa last night, and I don't think you need to rip them open. I think they ripped themselves open. You just got to put the ball in the back of the net.
They make
That's it.
so many
I
mistakes.
don't see us doing it. I don't see us putting the ball in it. I really don't. That's a worry. That's a problem.
What's going on with, like, what do you reckon it is with Cole Palmer? Like, because he's not as effective as he was last season, is he? He's not as involved in the games.
My theory behind it is not obviously not concrete. It's not true. It's not a gospel, but it's my opinion. Is under Pochettino, it was very much like a basketball game, like chaotic. They attack, we attack, and it gave Palmer space. Where Maresca's in charge, and it's more controlled possession and slow build up, and teams essentially can set up a low block against us. It limits him, in my opinion, and it limits not just him, but it limits the wingers and everybody else.
What's this? Cole Palmer's got this release clause in his contract, and he could be off in the summer. Any truth to that, Rossi? You heard of that?
I don't know anything about it, if I'm being honest.
I read it the other day, and it said that he's got like this clause that's been kept a bit quiet at the minute. but they reckon he could be off as early as the summer if Chelsea don't
I
qualify for
wouldn't-
the Champions League.
I wouldn't be
Essentially not
surprised.
getting Champions League, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, essentially Champions League. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Tabriz just said that Palmer being there next year, but you kind of covered that. Tabriz answered, he put a good question in the chat here on TikTok saying, do you think it's harder for London clubs now because of the North London derbies, why we struggle to compete for the Premier League? Because like Tottenham are, like Arsenal got Tottenham, West Ham, Chelsea, they're all massive games now. The derbies have got bigger over the years. So it's like another 6 massive games where you wouldn't have had them previously. Like Arsenal, West Ham before Declan Rice, Sal, was a nothing game really, was it? Now that's kind of spicing it up a little bit. What do you reckon, Wes? Like Arsenal, like do you think that takes an effect? Or, mind you, you're pretty good at winning London derbies.
I don't think we've lost the London derby in about 2 years, have we? Something stupid.
Right. Was it last Christmas we beat you at the Emirates?
Nah, it weren't last year. Last year?
Hey, what about you? Because you're like the whipping boys in the London derbies, isn't you? Like you're like
We are, mate. We are. Yeah, we get bashed up every year in the London derbies, don't we? But I'm sure we beat Arsenal 2-0 last year over Christmas.
Yeah,
it might have been
at the Emirates. I think they had about 35 shots on goal and we won the game 2-0 with 2 shots on goal.
Where we couldn't score.
Yeah, we're not very good in London derbies. Obviously, we've been to the Lane this year and been spanked. We've been spanked at home to Wesley's boys. We've been spanked at home against Rossi's boys. I thought we was unlucky at the bridge, to be fair, but yeah, we're not. Our home record and away record in London derbies ain't great. Draws at Fulham and Brentford, so it's just not good. Oh, we beat Palace actually, but I think everyone beats Palace.
Yeah. Rossi, I need a prediction of you. Villa Chelsea, mate.
I'll go a 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. That European Cup is not looking as shiny no more, man. I tell you, mate, that European Cup looks battered now, mate. Look at it.
Mate. No.
If it looks anything like you now, Rossi, mate, you look down in the dump skis after that, mate. You like supporting Chelsea is what it's doing to you, man.
All I'm going to say, Rossi, is don't jump off that balcony, will you?
No way.
Do you know what? There were massive talks of Chelsea winning the league, mate. I think someone said it. You were 4 points above Arsenal at one stage, and now you're like 12 points behind or something.
Do you know what it was, mate? I got behind the manager at the start and I believed that he was decent. But the difference between him and top managers is you look at Arsenal on when they played Leicester. 0-0 with 10 minutes ago. They put someone else up front, tried something different, and the geezer banged 2 goals in. With Maresca, it's very much he's stuck in his ways and the stubbornness, and he won't alter from his formation, style, tactic, whatever it may be. And that's been his downfall. That's been his problem.
Yeah,
I said look at top managers and then went to Arsenal. What that one?
Yeah, I think Jonesy in the chat, he's quite on par with you, mate. What you're kind of saying is kind of what he's saying, really. Like the Chelsea squad's like average, but I remember Jonesy and Kettle at the start of the season were bigging up Enzo and bigging up Chelsea and that, you know, like it's just all gone wrong. Like why? Like that. I don't think anyone knows. Since you won your cup final against us, it's gone, mate.
He keeps saying that. But the problem is, it's easy to get behind someone when they're winning, isn't it? You learn more about the manager and what he's got about him now when we're up against it. And we're sinking. We're not even floating at the minute. We're sinking. We're struggling big time. And I hope I'm wrong and I hope he turns it around and we get a win Saturday, but I just can't see it. I cannot see it.
Yeah. See, before we jump to used to, because that's the big one this weekend, the London derby, West Ham, Arsenal. West Ham could blow Arsenal's title race. And you know what? I'm not even going to deny it. I'll talk about it in a minute. I think West Ham can. I think West Ham are a very stubborn team when they can be, you know. Tottenham travelled to Ipswich. No means going to be an easy game. Like Portman Road, I know I've only seen one team go there really and spank them, and that was Man City, wasn't it? I think everyone else they put up a good fight. I know Leicester haven't won the games, but they put up a good fight. I think Palace won 2-0, but it was still a good game. Liam Delap is a handful, and I think, mate, Rossi, you'll probably agree with this. You'd take him at Chelsea in the summer. You'd like Chelsea to go for him. I'd love Spurs to potentially go for him, you know. Sell Richarlison in the summer sell Richarlison in the summer and look at Liam Delap, mate, 100%. But mate, I fancy us this weekend. I think the way it was before, there was no rest, mate. Like we was playing Sunday, Thursday, and mate, we were losing and then going in Europa League and then scraping through a win and then losing in the weekend, mate. Mate, I tell you now, mate, I've some crazy stuff's gone through my head in the last couple of months supporting Spurs, mate. It's not been a nice place, but look, I think Spurs go there and win 2 or 3-1. If I'm honest, I think we go to Portman Road and win. I think it's good to have players back. I think we've got Turbo Werner back this weekend as well. I think you're looking at Werner, and then you're looking at Ramiro, and you're looking at Van der Ven. They're looking at early March with Solanke. So we haven't really still got a striker, but I think this weekend in Dogi, he was on the bench against Man United, so he should come on this weekend. And I think we give Porro a breather and play Spence right back because Porro's played the most minutes this season in any league. That's what they're saying. He's not had no breather, so he needs that breather.
What's your thoughts on the January signing, Tell?
I haven't really seen much of him, mate, to be fair. He got thrown in the deep end, hasn't he? He went to Anfield, went to Villa Park, 2 tough away games. And then he's played Man United at home against 3 centre-backs. You're playing against a back 5 against Man United now. Let's be real. It's not like centre-backs now, is it? You're playing a back 5.
Took his goal well though at Villa Park, didn't he? Let's be honest. And I was a bit like, I'm not too sure about him against Liverpool. But then thinking about it, he only signed on Monday. He was chucked in against Liverpool. No one expected the injury. Well, he probably did, but he was chucked in, 38 minutes against Liverpool? And that's hard to come on and get sank out of Van Dijk and Konate and whoever else they're playing. But
I mean, to be fair though, he's come in and he's learned Tottenham's history straight away. In a week, he's gone out of 2 cups. You know, so he's straight in getting used to it.
Wait, I'll put you on mute, son. Fucking cheeky, this geezer. And then, swiftly moving on, quickly. The history
big
of
one.
Tottenham. Josie, where's look, mate? Yeah, where's just? I think there's some flirting going on here. What? So, Big P, we'll start with you, mate. West Ham. I don't know what your record's like against Arsenal. If I'm honest, I know you won last year, but then I think you've been absolutely pumped the last 2 times.
yeah,
to the Emirates.
we've been beaten 5-0 and 6-0. So,
boys, Arsenal West Ham ain't even on TV, is it?
no, it's 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
That is mental. Like how?
Yeah.
You're having Villa v Chelsea on TV, but not Arsenal West Ham. Who wants to watch Chelsea at the minute?
Not even me. Mate, I'd
The one that done me was what they got Monday night: Leeds v Sheffield United, and then Forest v Newcastle on Sunday. I'm like, really? But yeah, we're 3 o'clock Saturday.
What do you reckon? Fancy it?
I actually fancy us to get sank out of the game, and I'm not saying we're going to go there and win because it's a tough place to go and win. They got one of the best back 4s in the league. I'd fancy us to go there and get a draw.
The best back 4 in the league. Let's just get
no one of. I'm not going to say the one of. So I think if they start how they started against Leicester, I think they're there for the taking, and I don't see West Ham missing the chances that Leicester missed. I said to Wes the other day when I spoke to him on the phone, if we can hit Nwaneri early on in a tackle and it's Sterling early on in a tackle, them 2 are at the game already. Do you know what I mean? Especially Sterling. Not worried about Sterling whatsoever.
Well, if he's up against Kufal.
No, he won't be up against Kufal. You'll have Wan-Bissaka. I think on Saturday he went 4 at the back and we didn't look that great in the first half. I think against Arsenal, he will go 3 at the back with Wan-Bissaka and Emerson playing left and right wing back, and that will push back the Arsenal, Sterling and Ethan Nwaneri. For me, it's going to be the battle in the midfield. I think if we can get a battle in that midfield, I definitely think we come away there with a point, if not all 3. But I said the same when we played at West Ham and we got spanked 5-0. So,
you think you can get all 3?
midfield? Yeah.
Hey,
what?
you reckon you can come away with all 3 potentially?
Potentially, yeah. Why not? I don't think Arsenal. Look, we've compared Arsenal to Stoke City in the last 6 months. So unless they're going to score 3 or 4 corners, which is quite possible. But I
I'll give you
generally
a
think
draw.
that we could come away from there with a result.
I'll give you a draw. I know they say Thursday is the new Friday, but God knows what you've been drinking here to come away with a win, mate.
Mate, I think with Evan Ferguson, I think with Soler, we could cause them a few problems.
Yeah. What about you, Wes? Fancy your chances? You need to, don't you? You have to win.
Yeah, I mean, you have to fancy our chances. I don't see, I don't see West Ham scoring loads against us, if any, to be honest. But the problem is, I don't see us scoring loads as well. I think until we get Saka and Martinelli and players like that back, it's going to be 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1 and 2-0s, I think. When you say battle of the midfield, is it Paqueta's not playing? Is he out? Is he P?
He's had a scan, so I'm going to show he's out, but I don't think that's a massive miss, to be honest with you, Wes.
So who's the midfield three then that's going to go up against Arsenal?
I think he'll go Souček. I think he will go with Alvarez. And he could either bring in Rodriguez or bring in that young boy that played against Chelsea, that Andy Irving, who looked pretty comfortable and decent in there.
That's got no pace whatsoever, though, in that midfield there, is it?
No, it hasn't.
I think a midfield three of Partey, Rice, and Ødegaard would absolutely boss that midfield.
Right, ruin that. It will ruin.
I think we'll run through that midfield. To be honest,
but even if you bring Rodriguez in, there's no pace there. West Ham got, and I said this in January, we have to go and sign a midfielder because we have zero pace. There's more pace on a snail than what there is in the West Ham midfield.
Yeah.
It's true, mate. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try and sit here and cut paper over the cracks. I reckon Rossi runs faster on a Saturday playing Vets football than what our West Ham midfield can.
You ain't got no players returning this week, have you, Pete? Wes?
No, but I mean, Ben White's been back in the squad since Leicester, so he's a good option to have back.
He can't play though. His fake tan ain't there, and he's just had a new tattoo.
Yeah, probably. But he's a good option to have back around the squad.
He's very spiteful.
He is, mate. Imagine what he's going to be like when they lose. It's going to be even worse.
What? All joking aside, though, for Ben White to come back in, who are you going to drop? Calafiori? Put Timber on the left and play Ben White?
Yes, so it does exactly that, P. It does exactly that. So it gives the option of Timber moving over to the left, and then you can push Lewis Skelly, who is actually a midfielder. He's not actually a left back. So he can play in midfield or in the left 8 because he's very good there. He's not actually
I can't stand that kid.
Lewis Skelly?
Yeah, I can't stand him. I'd love to have him in my side, but I can't stand him.
What?
The two kids.
Wow, I don't know. There's something about him. I just can't stand him. I hate watching him play. But he's a good player. I'm not going to take away his ability. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's superb. I mean, listen, you're doing something right when you're 18-year-old and you're keeping, an Italian international defender who you signed for 40 million out of the team. He's had a fantastic season. I think you've got to keep Ethan Nwaneri quiet. We see against Leicester. I mean, he's carrying our attack at the minute. So I think if you keep him quiet, you'll keep Arsenal quiet because we don't really create many chances through anyone else, really. Trossard, not really. Sterling, no.
I think the thing is with us, mate, is we've got our Mexican liability in the middle that will smash him in a tackle, take a yellow card early on, and then we've got to panic about if he's going to get sent off for the rest of the game.
I think that's the last thing, isn't it? You don't want to get an early yellow card.
I said it Saturday at Brentford. I said, this geezer's a liability. The geezer next to me went, he's the worst player I've ever seen. I said, I don't disagree with you, mate.
You don't want to get an early yellow card at Arsenal, though. Hey, you going to the game on Saturday? You going down there?
Not, mate. I'm
scared. He's scared. He told me he's scared of the Arsenal ultras.
Yeah, the Ashburton Grove Army. No, I'm going to... I've got an 18th birthday party Saturday night and I want to spend some time with the kids and I ain't seen them all week. So, yeah, I'm going to spend some time with the family.
You just make sure your phone's on by about, 5:30, yeah?
As I said to you, Wes, my phone's always on. You can call me whenever you like, but I might have a few choice words for you.
What did P say then? What was the actual predictions? What do you reckon, P?
Yeah, score lines. I need to pick your score line.
I'm going to go 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to go 2-0 or 2-1 Arsenal.
And the reason I say a 1-1 draw, right, Wes, I think the pressure is all on Arsenal this weekend. Now, can that squad and can them three playing up front cope with the pressure? Because if West Ham come there and silence you early, that crowd is going to get on their back and get on their back fast.
Do you know what I like though, P? And it was the same with the Leicester game. I like it when we play before Liverpool. I feel like we have the opportunity to go and then do our job and then say, look, over to you now, Liverpool. You go and do your job now again.
I think the difference is Leicester, you're away from home. You've got 3,000. You could drown them out. You can't drown out 60,000 Arsenal fans. And they will get on the back early doors if Arsenal don't turn up. And West Ham manage to silence that crowd.
Yeah. But no, look, boys, I think, go on, Wes. So you sound 2-1. P, you sound 1-1. Rossi, you'll sound 1-1 at Villa Park.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs. I think Sonaldo in the chat will be pleased with that because he's got him in the last man standing in the last two, mate. He's been messaging me saying, "Trick Spurs will win." I'm like, well, I hope so, mate. We need to. But as we draw into the last 5 minutes, we're going to
just quickly. Have Spurs won back-to-back games this year in the Premier League?
Listen, don't worry about us, mate. The year is just started, mate, yeah? We're only on the 20th of February, mate, yeah?
I'm just asking for a friend. My wife was asking if Spurs won back-to-back games in the Premier League this year. I just said, I don't know. I'll ask my mate.
But boys, we're going round to questions from the floor, like from the audience world, or whatever you want to call them, the chat. So anyone on TikTok or YouTube have got any questions that you want to ask, throw it out there. Tabrice has asked, and we can go round here. Have the London stadiums lost their atmosphere because of the tourists attraction in London? I know definitely for Spurs, 100%.
I think every one of us here can sit here and say that tourists are probably the majority of our fans now, or taking tickets, especially at Chelsea. As I say, Chelsea, you go there for a West Ham Chelsea game the other Monday. Geezer was giving the geezer a ticket for 300 quid. He only spoke Spanish. Do you know what I mean? And Matty, me and you spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. That tourists are a massive part of football, and it takes the enjoyment out of it for the real fans.
I'll be honest, I don't think that's the case with Arsenal. Arsenal's atmosphere is probably the best it's been for a very, very long time. Very long time. I mean, West Ham's a running track, so I don't know what you expect there. There's no atmosphere there, is there, P?
But what's the atmosphere? Because I honestly think Emirates has got better since Arteta come. The atmosphere is good now, where Spurs' old stadium at the old stadium in Upton Park was unbelievable atmosphere, and we've kind of gone in the stadium and it's just a massive tourist attraction, you know, and the atmosphere, we can't get it going. We can't.
Matty, the thing is, could the Emirates get any worse than what it was?
No, do you know what I see? Emirates is now, Emirates before is what Tottenham Stadium's like now.
Yeah, but I think that comes naturally with the results. If you look at, you know, the Emirates under Wenger and Emery, it's the results that creates the atmosphere. You know, if you're challenging for a title, you're winning games, the atmosphere's, you know, everyone's going to get up for it. So I think that will change again with Spurs. They just need to pump some more of that atmosphere through the speakers like they do at your ground, Matty.
I think what they need at Spurs is like a song like North London Forever to get everyone wowed out. Do you know what I mean? And pretending Liverpool with the scarves in the air and that. Do you know what I mean? You know it is.
So, boys, as it's been a first episode, and thanks to everyone in TikTok and YouTube joining today, yeah, we're going to throw it out there now. First episode, and we'll review this at the end. Where's Arsenal going to finish come the end of the season? And are you going to win the Champions League in this? Because you're not in nothing else.
Unfortunately, mate, second, and no, we're not going to get a Champions League.
Pete, obviously, you're in absolutely nothing, so there's no point you tuning in. Hang on. He thought I was a robot and had to do some puzzle thing. Obviously, because I'm just predicting everything right. Hey, you're not in Europe, so you might as well not watch the European draw tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And where do you think West Ham will finish this year?
I think looking at our fixtures, still got Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton to play. I think we'll finish 14th, Matt, around there. 14th, 15th, maybe 13th at a push. As I say, our season now is about consolidating and building for next year. But yeah, between 12th and 14th.
I think you just got to concentrate on getting to that 40-point mark first, didn't you? So you know you're safe, and then
I
you'll
don't
be
think
all
we
right.
need to. I don't think we need to. I think 35 will be enough. We're on 27 now. And we're 10 clear. So
Yeah.
That's it.
What about you, Rossi? What's happening with Chelsea? Where do you think you finish?
I think we'll finish 7th in the league, round about 7th, and I think we'll win the conference.
Yeah, I see that. I think.
Well,
Arsenal-
that will be the first team to complete all the European trophies, Ross. Yeah.
It will be, mate. Yeah.
and that's why we don't want him to win it.
It's a bold statement here, but I think Spurs will finish 9th or 10th, but win Europa League.
Oh, log me off. I'm off, boys. What are you getting on about? What are you getting on about? Win.
Who'd
Don't
you beat in
win.
the final, Matty? Man United.
The thing is, we've already spanked them 3 times this year.
Yeah.
So they've got to win one, haven't they? And normally, if it comes in the final, it'd be proper Spursy, wouldn't it?
Is that? I don't know what you're saying here. Name one player has done them all. Can you name him?
Yeah, Emerson.
So
Emerson Palmieri of West Ham.
What the West Ham player Emerson? What's won it all?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
he's
won the
won the
Champions League with
Champions
Chelsea, won the Europa League with Chelsea. He's won everything he can. He's completed football, basically,
Oh, fair dues.
at domestic level.
No, fair dues. Right, look, listen, boys. Thanks, man. Like, it's obviously good episode, man, and we'll have to book one in next week. I know it's midweek fixtures, so we'll have to try and build something in, maybe Monday or something like that. Maybe Monday. What do you reckon, boys? Building
Yeah,
up for
Monday,
the midweek games.
Yeah, we'll get something in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll go again Monday, and then
Yeah.
you can see
Yeah, I can do
Rossi
Monday.
with his
Yeah.
1-1 prediction sitting there sulking because Villa has spanked them 4-1. And Big P or Wes, well, we'll see what happens then. And obviously, I'll be sitting here, Tottenham just 3 points again.
Mate,
Ole.
I'll take
3
the draw.
points again. Ole.
I'm hoping Declan Rice gets an own goal and West Ham win it 1-0. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
But no, appreciate it, guys. Thanks everyone on TikTok, YouTube. Don't forget to follow us. We will be doing little clips and that all over social media, and we will be keeping the page active, and we will be doing more regular lives. It's been an absolute battle in the last 24 hours to get the go-ahead from TikTok and YouTube to go live in this last 24 hours, and we managed to do it. So massive well done to everyone in this chat after ringing Wes about 10 times. Need a verification code. But we've done it.
If you ring me, I'm on the golf course, boys. I
Which is
can't
the
help
only geezer I know that goes from being under a toilet to going on a golf course.
Mate, it's nuts. It's nuts. But guys, no, if you can help us massively share this page out on YouTube and TikTok, you do get the better version on YouTube, not TikTok, because TikTok, the sound isn't great. But when you come over to the YouTube channel, you see a lot more. You see the whole screen, and TikTok, you only see a section of the screen. So, guys, if you want the YouTube link, let us know, and I'll send it over to you. Just inbox us or ask one of us in here, and we'll send you over the YouTube link. Guys, it's been emotional. Thank you, TikTok and YouTube. Have a good evening. Thank you.
See you later, boys.
Give me one
See you
second.
later.
See you there, boys.